All right, welcome back into another episode of Indiebnb. Today we are joined by Chloe Starr, LA native Chloe Starr. We appreciate you hopping on the pod, Chloe. How you doing today?
Yeah. I'm amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Well, you've got a ton of tunes that have come out, the last couple years here, and you're gaining a lot of momentum out in that scene. So, we had to have you on to get you a little exposure here on the East Coast a little bit,
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I appreciate it. I love the East Coast too. Where are you at?
We're in Atlanta, down in the
Atlanta.
South. So,
Cool, cool. I did
yeah.
a show in Atlanta last year. Like the end of last year. I absolutely love Atlanta.
We're cool. Do you remember where you played or
I can't remember the name of the venue, but it was a pride party. It was a pride party out there. Yeah, during
okay.
Pride.
All right, so
Yeah.
that would have been either June or a weekend in October, I believe, right? I'm trying to remember what.
Yes, it may have been October.
Okay,
May have been
we
October,
can go
yeah.
look. We'll look back. We'll look back at the tapes. We'll figure out where it was.
Yeah.
But very cool. Well, you got a lot of exciting stuff out right now, and
Thank you.
in particular, want to hear kind of your process. Like you've kind of self-taught guitar and piano. I mean, growing up in Los Angeles, take us through up to this point, like how we got here.
Yeah. There's so much, but like this things that have been going on like this past year and the beginning of this year has just all been so exciting. I've been dropping a song a month, which was like a goal that I had set for myself this in the top of the year. I was like, you know what,
Hmm.
I'm just gonna be dropping once a month until December, and then even possibly like two songs a month. Like, who knows? Last year, I basically like was in the studio. I was in New York and I was writing a lot, working with different writers. I mainly worked with a producer named Alan Markley, who is absolutely amazing, obsessed with everything he does. And we just like grinded it out with just writing and creating and storytelling, all of the things, which really like set me up for this coming year. And everything has just been like falling into place the way that I really wanted it to, with just the releases. And with the releases comes all the content. There's so much to all of it, because I'm telling so many different stories all at once, and I'm trying to tell multiple stories, in like a 4 week time frame too, which is not easy. But it's been a lot of fun. I've had a blast doing it all. And um, I started this specific project like about 2.5, almost 3 years ago now, and I feel like so much has changed, so much has evolved. Like, my sound has evolved, my like everything, like just like me as a person as well. And it's been just like the craziest ride, the craziest roller coaster. Last year there was like tons of traveling, touring, um, just like things that like I couldn't even like mentally comprehend, and I was like, what the fuck? Wait, can I cuss?
Oh
Sorry.
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like
Fuck
I
shit,
was just like
whatever.
I was like, what the fuck? Like you just think like, oh, like I'm just this girl that's just wants to make music and create, and you just don't ever think that it'll like get to certain points. So it's been a fucking blast. And I've
Yeah.
created so many relationships. I've met the people that have support me through all of this. Like, they are just the most amazing people, and being able to like connect with people through music is something that you can't even like I can't even explain that feeling. I like it's unexplainable when you can connect with another person through about an experience that like you both have gone through, and they're receiving one side of like the actual song. They're listening to the song, but then when you meet them in person, it just like makes everything just like make sense. And it reminds me like why I want to do this, and like why I am doing this. And yeah, it's just a beautiful experience.
I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, one of your experiences that kind of leads into a little bit about like I want to hear a bit more about your songs. Our song Spotlight, "Call You Back," which is your latest one
Mhm.
out. You meant in that song, you kind of are like in the brief I read, it was like a girl leaving you for the guy version of you. And so, like,
Yeah.
as that's something that happens to, I'm sure a lot of folks, like,
Yeah.
you know, that experience, like when you write that song and, how'd you, did that happen to you specifically? Was that, something that was just a theme that you kind of were,
Y-
looking into? But take me through the story.
Yeah. It's definitely it happened. It's devastating, heartbreaking. Uh it's kind of like it's like fucking soul sucking. But
Yeah.
you can't do anything about you can't do anything about it. It is what it is. But that is what happened. And there was some relationship that I was in, and um I was being told one thing, and I was believing everything that I was being told because this was a person that I loved and I cared about, and of course, like whatever, like she's telling me, I'm like, yeah, like you're being honest. But yeah, come to find out that she went and started dating this guy, and I swear it was like the same vibe, like same theme, same fucking theme. And I'm like, of course. And it made me feel obviously like insecure as fuck because I'm like, oh my god, like there was something missing. Something was missing. But like even that experience, like being able to share that and like put that like situation on blast in like such a vulnerable way of
Yeah.
knowing people are going to hear it, and also receiving the feedback from people like been there.
Yeah.
Not only is it's like people are receiving the feeling like heard, or it's like relatable, but I
Yeah.
also, for me, it also helps me process things because I'm having this experience of like, okay, I'm actually not fucking alone, and like there's other
Mhm.
people that have like gone through that. And it breaks my heart though when people say like I've been there. I'm like, fuck, I'm so sorry, because it's
Yeah.
not fun. It's not fun. It's fucked up,
Certainly not.
but
But
it
I
is
guess
what it
the
is what
you
it
know
is.
the best revenge you can get is you process the feelings through your songs, and they go viral and people love them. So I think, like, take me through the all right, this you get this idea to kind of work through the song through, and create something through it, or work through that experience and create something through it. Like, how did you how'd you start? Like, where does Chloe Star begin her process for Call You Back?
Yeah, I was in New York, and I was in a studio session, and I was in there with, I believe there was two two other writer two or three other writers, and we were just talking. At that point I don't know. I was like kind of. I feel like I'm always like going through something mentally because I like feel so intensely, and I don't always know how to express my emotions in the right way. So when I'm in a studio session, I feel very safe. I feel like
Hmm.
I'm just gonna talk about everything and anything, and like I don't. I don't give a fuck about being judged because I know like I'm with other creative people, like they get it. And we just started talking about like the relationships that I've been in, and this one specific relationship was very impactful on my mental like well-being, and I believe like Alan would just like start playing on the guitar a little bit, and just be like mumbling a lot of like gibberish is like the beginning really of like how all of it started. Just mumbling, like coming up with different melodies, and usually like I'll have Alan, who produced a track, he'll like lay something down on the guitar, and then I'll just get on the mic and do like a freestyle, and the freestyle is full on gibberish. And from there, like sometimes you can literally hear like the story being told just through the gibberish. You're like I don't know how it happens, but it really just like falls into place. And um that was like that writing process, and we wrote that in we wrote that in one day. And I would say like a week later, I was able to record that with a full live band in the studio. And that in itself is also just like a magical process, because you're working with other creatives who, are putting their heart and soul into this song. And everyone's energy is like in the room, is it when everyone comes together, it's just like, again, something that like is indescribable. Like you can't really like describe that feeling. Like everyone just clicks and everyone's in a
Hmm.
pocket. And um yeah, and recording with a live band is one of my favorite top things to do when it comes to the creative process. Because you just, I love computer drums and stuff like that as well, and I have done that in other tracks, but it just hits different. It just hits different. Yeah.
Gotcha. What are the, when you create something and you do the live band track, is that kind of so you can transition it into something you perform live, and like you have when you do tour, do you have a backing band, or is it, more so, we do backing track and a couple of different, key pieces. What's the outfit currently?
Yeah, it depends on the show. Most of the time I do have a band. I have a bass
Hmm.
player, guitar player, drummer. Um, and that's like the most ideal. Always my favorite shows is with a full band. But I've definitely done tons of shows without a band,
Hmm.
just to like track. I've done shows with just me and a guitar player. I've done many shows with me and a guitar player. Which it's always fun. Like it's always fun having more energy on stage. I love interacting with my band. I love like, just like feeding off each other. So yeah, like last year it was really a mix. It was a mix of both. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, within like the call you back, like when I listen to it, I kind of hear like a pop, a punk. There's elements of
Hmm.
pop, elements of punk, elements of some hip hop. Like, you know, in that particular track, like when you were and when Alan was kind of going on the guitar, right? Like, are you adjusting him and like, hey, like I want it to be a little bit more edgy, or I want it to be a little bit more this or that. Like, when you hear it in your head,
Totally.
what does that kind of process look like for feedback to him?
Yeah. We'll like fuck around with different guitar pedals. I'll say like, make it more like gritty or like more grungy, or like could we like pop on a telephone effect somehow on the
Hmm.
guitar? That is like constantly like happening during that creative process, you know? And sometimes like just like a clean, like I mean he's just absolutely insanely talented at everything that he
Hmm.
does. But he can I am capable of I'll just tell him like, yo, this is the idea, this is what I'm hearing in my head, and he'll
Hmm.
just fucking do it. And I don't that it's just like a different level of like, you are not human, you know.
He's a
But
computer.
he's yeah, yeah, he's like this magical, I don't know, he's not from here. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
incredible. But that's always happening, like even in the live recording, sessions when we're recording with a live band, like down to, the drums and the bass. So that's definitely always happening. And things constantly change too, even last minute, of like, well, let's actually take this out. And um but yeah,
Gotcha.
it was a really fun process working on that song.
Gotcha. And want to switch over to one of your other tracks that's your highest streamed, according to my, I'm a Spotify gentleman, but
Mm.
290. It's TNT, right? Was
Hmm.
that recorded in the same kind of session? And I do want to get to one of your
Yeah.
latest pieces of content on TNT as well, but
Yeah, TNT is one of my favorite songs that I've done. I actually did that with Alan as well. It was not the same session. It was
Hmm.
um I don't know how far, probably like maybe like 9, 10 months prior.
Hmm.
Um yeah, that was a lot of fun. That's one of my favorite songs to perform live. Um that like that that process was like wild. I was just in like the craziest funk ever, and I was telling him like all of these things. I was like, I want this, I want that, like I just wish I could have this, like it was like a spiral. I was like fully spiraling to him, and he's just like, that's it, like that is the song, and I'm like, yes it is.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. When you put together like the content that you've had a couple things on the Instagram recently. We're doing this as of Happy St. Patty's Day, but
Yeah.
as you create the that part of the it's almost a part of the game now, right? Of the hey,
Hmm.
like let me hype the song up through Instagram and through those different pieces of content. Like you're in Los Angeles, you're dressed up and you're in on the Isle of Palm Trees. Believe it or
Yeah.
not, I was born there. I have no idea where that is, and like I can't,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. But like the imagery, like how do you decide that you want to do it there versus anywhere else, right? Like the where the big palm tree
Yeah.
grows.
I I work with this like insane videographer. His name is Kai Dickinson, and um I'm constantly like shooting him ideas like, "Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that?" And when I made that decision to shoot there, I literally was like randomly like driving down that way one day, and I was like, I need to shoot here. I just have to.
Mm-hmm.
I already know it's going to look great. Like also that specific spot is in Beverly Hills. So, like also I think it's like kind of funny as fuck because I'm literally like in the middle of Beverly Hills being like, I want a bad bitch for the weekend. I want a wife and a girlfriend. People were definitely like, what the fuck is this girl doing? But so that was like just like really funny. But yeah, it just if I just like look at something that like it just tickles my brain a little bit, I'm like, this could be a vibe,
Yeah.
could work.
When you kind of have it's definitely a juxtaposition, right? It's a different, it's a very different, like your vibe and the vibe of Beverly Hills, again, as
Yeah,
I've gone through and gotten to know your content, very different. And so
yeah,
I think I like that, you kind of give a little bit more the Los Angeles kind of, hey, like, there are people from here, not just people who are living here because there's a bunch of shit here,
yeah,
right? Like,
totally.
so,
Totally. I
so,
was in the back of a pickup truck, the
yeah.
bed, just like bopping around, and like because I don't know, I just think like LA can be so funny. It can be so funny, and people need to lighten up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. What for you as an LA native, right? Like you're kind of shaped by the scene. Obviously, a super famous scene with a ton of bands coming from California and tons of artists. Like how did you kind of find your niche and find what inspired you living there and growing up there?
Yeah. Los Angeles is difficult because, of how flooded it gets with like there's just so many insanely talented people there. And it's hard to not get lost in like all of the noise and to stay like grounded in like who you truly are, I guess. Like it's easy to get swayed, and I feel like growing up I just have my mom did an amazing job with raising me and my siblings, and always to like be yourself, to constantly be whoever you want to be, and to walk in that truth. And I'm so grateful for that because I feel like that has really shaped my influences today, and also just who I am today, because I don't feel so like you know like I don't know, like kind of lost, I guess.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if that answered your question, but it felt right. But it
Hey, I
feels
like
right.
it. I like it. Feels
Um,
right. Hey, you were shaped by your
Shout
mom
out
doing
to
a
my
great job.
mom.
Yeah, let's
Shout out to
go.
my mom.
I love it. I love it. Well, self-taught guitar, self-taught piano. Again, that's some just information that's out there. Like, I mean, that's kind of hard to
Yeah.
do. Like, when did how did you get that done,
Yeah.
and what was the motivation?
Um, when I was younger, I had like a very chaotic childhood just growing up. And I also had a hard time. Bro, I just had a hard time like existing, really.
Hmm.
Like it was just like really difficult to just fucking exist. And um you know my parents when they were together, we were all living together at the time, me and my family. They got a piano. And I was just like, "What? You guys are getting no one plays piano, you know, like." And I was so fucking pumped though, because
Hmm.
like I would just sit there and just like I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I didn't know if like I had no idea. I would go online, and like watch videos or I remember there was like back in the day when like iPods were like it's like, popping. And you
Yeah.
could like buy apps and stuff. I would buy um piano apps, like how to play the piano. And I would just watch these videos, for like days. And that really, got me to like kind of figure it out. And then I realized that like it's all pretty much the same. Like I feel like piano is a very like it's like the foundation of a lot of instruments, and once you know that, then it's pretty easy to pick up, other things. Same with guitar. With guitar, I kind of did the same thing. And growing up too, I at school I had friends that played the guitar, and I would just be like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Like, can you show me? And even to this day, like I have a friend who's just an insane guitarist, and I'm always like wanting to learn from the people that I surround myself with, like teach me something, like, teach me a new scale, and I'll just sit with my friend really and just yeah. There's just
Perfect.
so much more learning to do though, always. So
I love it. Lifelong learner, getting to irresistible curiosity, right? You always having
yeah,
that, being able to do it.
so curious.
What during the tour like last year, during the what are some if you have any kind of moments that stick out to you, or people that stick out to you that kind of really shaped that tour and helped you along the way, or some fun moments.
Yeah. The entire tour was just so much fun. My I did play London Pride, which was it was just so much fun. There was like I don't even know how many people were there. I say hundreds. There could have been more. There probably was more, but I don't know. Whatever. There was a lot of fucking people there, and the really like cool thing about that show is when I you know when I had gotten there, I didn't really know what I was like gonna walk into, and I feel like I do that with before every show. I'm like, I get anxious. I'm like, oh my god, like, you know, what if nobody comes? And like, like, it's just it's just the fucking mind, can really run. And when I got on stage and I didn't know that there were that many people that knew my music. Like, one, didn't know, period, that anyone knew that much. Like, didn't know that many people knew. Two, I didn't know, like, I'm in a foreign country. And it was just such an insane experience to have. And connecting with all of those people and having that moment was like very special to me, and that was like my favorite show of the tour. It really was because I didn't know what to expect. And yeah, and being able to meet everybody at every show is like it's an honor. Like it's a fucking blessing. Like these are like I look at them like you got we are one, you know?
Hmm.
You guys get me, I get you. And yeah. So that and you know, I definitely had like a solid support system with people. I had some people come with me to certain shows, some people traveled with me and um which is really nice. It's really nice to have you know, like a buddy with
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
for sure, to be able to experience it.
Because
Well, sounds like the London show was something to behold. So we'll
yeah.
have to go look up the video for from that for some context on what it looked
Yeah.
like. Obviously, wasn't there. So um,
Yeah.
with with that, what's 2026 like? We're doing a song a month. Like, what else?
Yeah.
Is there anything else planned? Any more touring? EPs? What are we thinking?
Yeah, so I'm doing a song a month. My next song drops March 30th, and that's called Emergency Contact, which is another song that I'm so excited about. It's become my favorite song out of the 12 songs that I will be dropping. So that's nerve-wracking and exciting and all of the above. But I'm doing that. I believe I'm going to drop two songs maybe in May. Um,
Hmm.
so I'll have like 12 or 13 songs out by the end of the year. And I also have a music video for Call You Back, which will be dropping, I want to say like first to second, beginning of second week of April. Um, and I'm actually shooting that this weekend, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, so that's gonna be really cool. The whole like the treatment of the video is really so sick. It's also really fucking funny. So that and right now I have no show set, but I want to say come May June, then I'll yeah. There's like talks of some tour ideas and some things, but you know, we gotta like get some things sorted. But that'll probably be like end of the year for like a tour. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Well, we got, March 30th. We got Emergency Contact coming out. We got the
Mhm.
music video for, the song we've been speaking about, Call You
Mhm.
Back. I mean, two songs in May potentially. You got, we'll have
Mhm.
12 by the end of 2026. I mean, the Chloe Star, the momentum's building. We're getting here.
Yeah. Hell
So
yeah.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna jump to our rapid fire segment. This is the last part of the show. Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. 20 questions right in a row. It's a this or that, mainly food based. So we're really gonna get deep here.
All right.
But
Hell
we'll kick it
yeah.
off here. Chloe Star, cake
Okay.
or pie?
Cake.
She's caking it up.
Cake.
All
Oh
right.
yeah.
Salad or soup?
Ooh. On salad. Salad. Yeah, I love goat cheese on a salad.
Ooh, all right. We got a little goat cheese.
Yeah.
All right. Sunrise or sunset? What are you seeing more of these days?
Ooh, sunrise.
All right.
Sunrise. Love a
Early riser.
sunrise. Yeah.
Love it. All right. Little sports action for you. Home run or touchdown? Which one would you rather do?
Probably a home run.
All right.
Yeah.
Rip one out of the
Yeah.
park. We like it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Night in or night out? What are you having more of these days?
Night in.
Night in.
I am a homebody. Yeah,
Okay.
I should
All right.
probably go out more.
When you do go out, though, and your jam comes on, are you more likely to hit the robot or the worm on the dance floor?
Probably the robot. I
Robot.
wish I could do the worm. I don't think I could do it unless I do it on a bed.
Okay. All right. We put a bet out on the dance floor. Chloe Star may hit the worm for us. We'll see.
That
Um,
part.
all right. Guac or queso, your favorite Tex-Mex spot?
Ooh, queso.
Okay.
Yeah.
Waffles or pancakes?
French toast.
French toast. All right, we'll take it. The French toast killer herself. I can't believe I even asked that
I
question.
know.
Come on, do some fucking research, Grant. Jesus. All right, coffee or tea with your French toast?
Coffee.
Coffee all day. All right.
Yeah,
Dogs or cats?
dogs.
All
Easy.
right, love it. You more identify as a ninja or a pirate?
Ooh. Fuck. Arg. Probably a ninja. Yeah.
Ninja.
In my
Because
head, yeah. I'm
the
definitely a
arg didn't
ninja.
the arg didn't fit.
No, it didn't hit. It didn't hit. It wasn't
I love
believable.
it. You're the first one who's actually arged on the show, so congratulations. Let's go.
Hell yeah.
First arg. All right, chips or pretzels?
Uh, pretzels. Pretzels.
Okay. All right, fries or tots?
Fries.
All right, TV show or a movie to unwind after a long day?
Movie. Oh, I watched a really fucked up movie last night. Movie.
Okay. All right, are aliens real?
Yes.
Okay. If you were a fruit, what kind of fruit would you be?
Passion fruit.
Passion fruit. I love that. All right. Is love at first sight real?
Yes.
All right. All right. Give me two bands. Final question. Give me two bands that we ought to check out that we might not know.
Ooh, two band. Third Eye Blind. I feel like everyone might know that though, but maybe not. Third Eye Blind.
Yeah,
My
you can
favorite
listen to it.
band.
Let's go. Yeah.
And then recently I've been on a Bring Me the Horizon vibe. Yeah.
All right. A little heavy. Let's go. Love it. Love it. All right. Third Eye Blind, one for, some folks maybe that, our younger listeners may not know about it.
True.
I'm old, so I know all about it. Can I
It's my
graduate?
hell yeah. Hell yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Favorite band ever.
I love it. I love it. Well, Chloe Starr, you conquered Pete Peterson's party pack of questions. Everyone,
Hell yeah.
will all of her links will be below here. You can check her out. Be on the lookout. Go follow her on Spotify. Go follow her at French Toast Killer on Instagram. She's got some great content. If you want to see, some real good, just fun. I don't know. That's all I can describe it. It's just
Thank
fun.
you.
It's a fun follow.
It is fun, right? It's like,
Come on.
I feel like I just try to keep shit exciting and like good vibes.
Yeah.
Good vibes.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, Chloe, we appreciate all your work and look forward to
Thank you.
seeing all 12 of these songs come out. The music video, of course, in April. And wish you continued success. Look forward to seeing you here in Atlanta soon.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun, and hopefully I'll get out there soon.
I love it. All right.